Hello and welcome to our reactions to a specific teaser that was just shown this Monday because somebody leaked it and they said, screw it, we'll release it now. That's the
hmm
Batman v Superman. I am known as a lot of names, but most people just say Fighter Cows or just Cows. That's me. Hello. Who is with me?
I'm Jeff, but I'm known mostly as 16-bit Jeff.
And like we said, this is our reactions to the Batman v Superman trailer. Teaser, rather. We want to make that distinction. Jeff, tell him why.
Well, because a lot of people have been really negative on this because they were thinking that this was going to be a full trailer, which in fact it wouldn't because A, this movie isn't coming out until the next 11 months, which is March of next year, and B, because the first full trailer for Batman v Superman would most likely be debuting around either July or August, around the time that San Diego Comic-Con will be happening. Pretty much, right?
Exactly. Exactly. So, this won't. Another thing we also want to mention is that these won't be often. We know the Star Wars one came out. That one's got a lot of positive press, but I don't know. We just have so little time. We're like, we gotta pick one. Batman, Superman.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm certain that. Hope I'm not putting either of us on the spotlight, but I'm certain if we have the time, I don't think I do. But if we have the time, maybe we'll go back to Star Wars.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Like, if we definitely have a time to do others, we will definitely do it. It's just not going to be a routine
Yeah,
thing that
exactly.
we
That's what we
do.
want to mention. It's not every week or every day or. It's basically Jeff thought of the idea. I said okay. Anyways, we did 2 minutes of intros and explaining. Let's go right into the meat of it. What did we see here in this trailer? What we saw was an opening of a statue. And Jeff, go ahead.
Yeah, we open up to a statue that we're zooming in, and each closer that we zoom in frame by frame, we hear various dialogue from various newscasters. One, if I recall correctly, sound a lot like Neil deGrasse Tyson, and another of Charlie Rose, formerly of the host of Meet the Press. No, Face the Nation. I'm sorry, and CBS's Face the Nation. But it was basically setting up what the opening to the Dark Knight Returns was, the comic and the recent animated feature that was released a couple years back. That in the beginning there was these inner monologue segments with newscasters in the world of the comic where they were basically feeding the information to the viewer or the reader. This is what the opening was to
Mm-hmm.
the trailer.
Taking a page from
Um,
Fake Miller there.
yeah, no, that, but I actually like. There was one line I like, and I really do feel like that Jesse Eisenberg's Lex Luthor is going to be very good because the line that he says, I can't say word for word, but he says, "We know the truth now. Devils don't come from underneath hell; they come from the sky." I loved that line. Like if the
So Luthor.
and not only that, but it shows that with what they got with Chris Terrio, the same screenwriter who wrote the Academy Award-winning script for Argo, is rewriting the story basically and the dialogue for this. And I could tell that as much as I loved Man of Steel for what it was, I think you and I can agree that the dialogue was atrocious.
Yeah.
One word. Heresy.
Well, anyways, so besides that, we also got since it's a teaser, we can explain more
Yes.
of what actually happened. You were mentioning the close up to the statue and
And
the
we
various
closed up,
dialogue
yeah,
and overlapping.
and we hear it, and we get when the closer we get, we start hearing this chanting, "Go home, go home, go home," because obviously this is not only a movie to even broaden this new universe, but it's also a sequel to Man of Steel because with the events that happen, there's obviously going to be consequences, which we'll get into in a bit. But
By the way,
as we finally pan up to the front of the statue, the lights come on and it says false god. So you know the premise right there is basically there are people in Metropolis that look to him as a savior and as a good guy, while there's another half thinking that he's not only a false deity, but just a deity that just is looking for his own good and not for anyone else. Basically, a divided lot, basically. It's not only in Metropolis, it's just basically around the world, too, because I forgot to mention, it was also a scene where it looks like he's in a third world country, like Mexico or Brazil, that he's being idolized by a culture. You know which one I'm talking
Yeah,
about,
no,
right?
the people who have their hands stretched out to him.
Yeah.
I'm trying to look
And
for that still shot.
yeah. Oh, and while you're doing that, there was also a still shot that I was surprised with, and it makes me even wonder who's really the villain. Is it Batman or is it Superman? Because with this trailer, I'm going to get to right now, I feel like this trailer is more on Batman's perspective. You know what I mean? Just the whole tone. And the reason why I say this is because you saw that SWAT.
I found that shot right
that
away.
SWAT-like team that was kneeling.
That was kneeling
Superman,
to him,
right?
Yeah.
I don't know if you caught it the first time around, but if you watched it, if you look closely on the side of their arms, they have like a Superman-like patch.
Oh, by the way, the people seem to be in Mexico because some of them have the Dia de los Muertos.
That's why I brought up either Brazil or Mexico because, yeah.
And then they'll tell me I'm wrong, and then I'm like, oh well.
Yeah, well.
But anyways, as for the guys kneeling, I did not see I did not look at the. Yeah, they do have it on their shoulders.
And I'm kind of wondering, like, and it's funny because you bring it up when we started this, when we were originally watching it, that there was a lot of influences or tones from the 2013 fighter from NetherRealm Studios titled Injustice: Gods Among Us.
Which I said it when we were watching the trailer. I said, this is very Injustice-y.
Yeah. And you know what? I don't know about you, but personally, I'm a huge fan of Superman. I like him more than Batman. But with the consequences to what happened with Man of Steel, how would you personally feel if Superman unknowingly was the villain this time around?
At least it seems from Batman's perspective, it is like he did something. Batman's like, I gotta teach you how to. Oh, I'm glad he's not talking like that.
Oh yeah, well we'll get to that obviously, but yeah, like I do like
he's probably like maybe he's like, okay, I see you're not really bad, but boy, I gotta teach you how to.
You done goofed, basically, yeah.
But you mentioned the pan. So finish describing the trailer, and then we'll actually get to opinions.
Yeah, that'll be better.
Yeah.
We pan up, and right after we see the worst false guard, we finally hear the first voiceover of the new Alfred, which is being played by Jeremy Irons. You know, Mr. from Dungeons and Dragons.
I always think of Die Hard with a Vengeance.
Good one, yes.
Or that time in college that I'll tell you later.
Okay. Sounds really risque, but besides that...
It's not, it's just weird.
I know, but it's just the way you set it up.
Yeah, it did sound
but we finally hear the first dialogue from him, and I liked... This was another line I liked, too. That's how it starts. The fever. Of what makes... It's basically saying...
The feeling of powerless.
The anger that's building inside him, and how it turns people like Bruce into something that they're not. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And all that, but we actually got the first actual image of, Ben Affleck as Bruce Wayne, an older-ish Bruce Wayne, because he's supposed to be in his 50s, right?
He's older. We don't know.
Yeah, he's more experienced, let's just say that. And then after that, we also see a transition to what he's looking at, which is the new Batsuit, and it looks fucking amazing.
We'll keep describing. We'll get to that.
But yeah, I'm just throwing it out there. But after that, we see obviously a quick flyby of the 3D logo, for Batman v Superman, and it's set in 2016. And then we see various quick shots of not only the Batplane, which I was surprised to see, but also a first quick snippet look of how the Batmobile Batmobile is going to function in this universe. And the interesting thing about this is that the drone that we saw, which is most likely the Batplane, yeah, he was straight up killing people.
Well, hold on. What?
Yeah. He was straight up killing people because you cannot tell me.
He was blowing them up.
Yeah, but you cannot tell me that those people just jumped by through being right between two SUVs.
Haven't you seen the old dub of Dragon Ball Z where Nappa blows up the airplanes and then you hear somebody go, "Wait, I see the parachutes." Yeah, right? They're dead, man. Anyways,
not in this universe, son.
Or else we'll never be done.
But yeah, but then we see another quick snippet of where Batman is like, and this is the thing I like to see, that he's actually being a detective. First, I think, in any of the films live action, but he looks like he's excavating and studying the climactic battle. The
end of Man of Steel.
Yeah, the end of Man of Steel, where the climactic battle ended between Zod and
like
Superman.
He's surveying the land, yeah.
Yes. And then we get to see, finally, Batman in the iconic mechanical suit from Dark Knight Returns, that epic final fight. And for the first time, we get to hear Ben Affleck's take of the Cape Crusader. And he says, "Tell me, do you bleed?" And you see Superman just pummel down to the earth. And we go to black.
He says, "You will."
You will. And then comes up the logo for Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice.
And the title, and then the release date.
Yep.
Written by Chris Terrio and David S. Goyer, directed by Zack Snyder. All right, now we can get into what we thought. Now,
yes.
To go back to, I guess, now we'll go back to the beginning of the trailer again, but this time just all opinion.
Mm-hmm.
The first thing we see after the logos is the people reaching out to him.
Mm-hmm.
Now, here's the first part of what we're talking about, how there's people divided. Do you like how they show that? There's a divide, that there are people who revere him, but then there are people who think he's nothing but trouble?
Yeah, and it shows not only that scene, but it also shows in the another upcoming scene, which we were talking about a while with the SWAT-like team kneeling down to Superman, because in that shot you just talked about, you can see sympathy that, he doesn't want to be seen as a god. He just wants to be seen as a hero. Whereas that doesn't totally look like that's the case with that scene with the SWAT-like team. You know what I mean?
Right. With the
because
people,
it looks like
with the people reaching out to him, looks like, okay, he's a good guy, but in there it looks like he's like the final boss of a video game.
Exactly. It looks like it went from sympathetic to straight up, Lex Luthor type of villain that he's looking out for himself and basically everyone.
Big bad.
I mean,
Geese Howard style. You know what I'm saying?
Pretty much, yeah.
Geese. But also, I think it's during this, or like a little after that, because it keeps going to the statue, and then you see him from the sky, where you see devils come from the sky, and you see somebody going, "Oh man, look at him." You see a dude. I don't know if it's a random dude or if that's his mom or. No, it's not.
It's probably a random civilian from another third world country that sees him just like the descendants of the ceremony of Deus Des Muertos that you were just talking about. That then, they see him as a god. You know what I mean?
And then it goes up and it says false god. And here is where my first major thing I was talking about. You know what this reminds me of?
What?
X-Men. Now, what do you mean? What do you mean, X-Men? It's like, when they're saying go home, it totally reminds me of something similar to no more mutants.
Yes, I get that, yeah.
Like, he's different. No, we don't like different.
And you can tell, you can tell, like, yeah, this is a teaser, but from what we know, obviously, this whole campaign, this whole anti-Superman campaign, is going to be started off by Lex. Because if we know if there's
Exactly.
one thing
Yep.
that we know that Lex hates, is that if there's anyone above him.
Hmm. You notice that if you've watched, even if you haven't read the comics, if you've watched any of the either the cartoons or what's the
Or
movie?
even the previous movies that
Trying to think of
featured
trying to think
Lex.
of trying to think of one of the really good examples because a lot of the movies, animated movies, but uh, All Star Superman. That's yeah,
Mm-hmm.
All Star Superman, right? You remember that?
Mm-hmm.
He's like I got good old American real human muscle, huh, and all that. Like that's how Lex is. I'm like people like Eisenberg can't do it. I don't know that speech he gave, especially with the line you liked that he said. It's totally what Lex would do.
Exactly.
You want to take it from the midpoint? We're at the midpoint of the trailer. You want to take your opinions?
Yes. And
Now we
right
get
after
Ben.
we, well, not that, but we also get to hear the first line with Jeremy Irons, which is a new Alfred. The way that it's set up, it sounds like he's either lecturing Bruce himself, kind of like that scene in Arkham Origins,
Oh, yep.
or that he's talking to someone else while obviously talking about Bruce's personality. You know what I mean? His actual personality. And then we also see, for the first time, Ben Affleck as Bruce Wayne. And here's the funny thing. And I know this is a trailer. This is a teaser. Yes, it's a teaser. It's a 2-minute teaser, in fact, right?
Yep. Matter the part where I paused. It's 2 minutes. Halfway
From
point,
that
it's like a
alone,
minute past, and there's still a minute left.
if there's one thing I can say, from that 2-minute teaser, when we see Ben Affleck for the first time, Ben Affleck as Bruce Wayne, just as the Bruce Wayne persona, I could see in his facial movements the rage that's built up inside of him.
I know, right? I don't know. Ben did a good job there.
In that 2 minutes, he did a better job than freaking Christian Bale.
Speaking of,
And yeah, that's another thing too, that we actually get to see we've seen it before, but to actually really see it in full HD is the full on bat suit. And I gotta tell you, call me crazy, but is it just me, or did they take a lot of influences from various bat suits from various medias?
yeah,
Like, for example, I could see...
It's not just a Dark Knight here. Yeah.
Exactly. I see mixtures of Dark Knight Returns, from Injustice, from obviously the New 52, with just the color scheme itself, especially with the yellow goldish bat, the belt that Batman has.
Utility belt.
Yep. It totally is. You know what I mean? It's a mixture of all the previous bat suits rolled into one gigantic behemoth of a suit. You know what I mean? Like, basically, what I'm saying is, it's just just the texture and just look. Obviously, Dark Knight Returns, but the overall build and bulk reminds me a lot of the Arkham Origins suit.
Uh-huh.
And just to clarify too, it was confirmed in a recent article on Of All Things Bleacher Report that no one knew about this, but there's still tipped knuckles on his gloves.
Oh.
Yeah, so he's actually become... This costume, in general, has been more strategically built, unlike the last one, which I really like. And we also get to see, for the first time... I knew there was the Batmobile, but I didn't know there was going to be a bat plane. You know what I mean? That's the thing that really surprised me. And the funny thing when I was seeing about that, do you really think that's Batman controlling that drone?
Um. we aren't given any reason not to think so, but at the same time, they never
It could be
showed.
50-50.
They never showed it could be
It
Luthor
could be
hijacking it.
Lex, because here's the thing.
Yep.
Of course there's going to be a battle. We just saw it at the end, but here's the thing. It's not going to be the full freaking movie. And it's just, there has to be more to the title's meaning of Batman versus Superman.
Well, and the Dawn of Justice subtitle.
Well, yeah, but more specifically the title, because it doesn't have to be only physical. It could also be, of their philosophies, you know what I mean, in regards to how they take down their own respective, baddies. But, yeah, I like the look of the Batplane. I especially love the look of the, Batmobile, once again, like they did with the Bat suit. They took a lot of aspects from various Batmobiles and just made into one behemoth tank, you know what I mean? That isn't thankfully called the Tumbler, I hope. But after that scene, we actually see, in a full blaze of glory, Batman coming out of, what appears to be a wreckage, right?
Yeah, it looks like a wreckage. Something broke.
Holy crap. From that scene alone, I liked Christopher Nolan's take on Batman for what it was. But I'm not gonna lie, I thought his Batman wasn't intimidating. You know what I mean?
Gravelly voice alone doesn't make you intimidating.
No, exactly. No, that makes you laugh. But in all honesty, okay, for a realistic style of a world, I can take that. But this is more suited because of what, no pun intended, because of, what's at stake. Because it's no longer just the regular Joe Schmoes that Batman would take down. No, now it's going to be consisting of metahumans, whether of good or evil now, that he has to, either work with or have to take down. You know what I mean? So this makes sense that he builds a suit like this. And he really looks like he's a real force to be reckoned with, unlike the previous incarnations.
I like how when he's stepping out there and he looks he looks menacing. Like before, I was thinking what do you mean versus Superman? What's he gonna do? What's he gonna? Okay, now he looks like he could fight superhumans. Yeah.
Like the best way I can bring it to context is that there's gonna be a couple idiots that think that could take on Batman alone in the Dark Knight trilogy from Chris Nolan, because they think, it's just one guy. Compared to what we see in this incarnation, those people that think that could take on that Batman, they would just turn with their tails between their legs, and run for their lives.
Yeah, he looks like a monster.
It's like, I'm not fucking with this guy. I'm gone. But yeah, and also there was also one pivotal scene too that I don't know if people brought up too, but there was, in that particular scene of The Dark Knight Returns, and I'm sorry to spoil an almost 30-year-old graphic novel, but remember when one crucial scene that Batman actually had a sniper rifle in tow, but he was using it as a grappling hook?
Uh-huh.
Well, there was one scene where he's standing on a water tower, or just like a tower in general, and he has a sniper rifle on with him. Now, I'm wondering if A, is that he's using that for a grappling hook-like device, or B, and this is going to be going, and I feel like it's a MacGuffin towards what could be the start of what we saw near the end of the trailer, which I'll get to when we get there. But yeah, and I want to know what do you think about the shot that was fully showing the mechanical suit, like the actual armor suit that is from The Dark Knight Returns.
Which one? One where at the end, or when?
At the end.
That I like.
And no, that, but there's one thing that
it's especially with the rain. I don't know. It adds
and that's one thing I got to bring up too. If there's one thing I can agree with people to an extent, I wouldn't say there was no color, because there was color, yes.
Well, when he was on that tower with the rifle.
No, I'm talking in regards to the previous film, Man of Steel. There was color, but it did look like it was washed out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, Man of Steel, yeah.
This
washed out.
is a complete opposite.
No, this one, whatever there is colors, they pop.
It's not fully popping out like it was in Guardians of the Galaxy or even majority of the Marvel films, but there is color to an extent that you can see, and it's just like, okay, this is better. You know what I mean? I just wanted to bring that up, but there was enough.
That's just a tower spire, by the way.
Okay, thanks for bringing that up.
I don't know, can't confirm either or sniper rifle or tower spire.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at it. That looks like a scope and a barrel to me. But
yeah,
could be just a tower spire. Anyway.
But if there's one thing that you and I agreed with, and this is one thing and you brought up too earlier, if there's one thing I hated about the previous incarnation of Batman, was the five pack a day smoking voice that Christian Bale gave the character. The one thing that you and I agreed with.
Yeah, I did.
I don't know. I don't know if that's the thing he uses with the bat suits, or if it was just something implemented inside the armored suits. Because it could be a separate thing as well, too. You know what I mean?
Some sort of automatic robot deal.
But nevertheless, somewhat of a voice modulator. I like that, because to me, and this is the irony about the Dark Knight trilogy, the graveliness of what Christian Bale was doing, they thought that was realistic, when in fact it was the complete opposite. It felt really cartoonish, you know what I mean?
Exactly. There are real-life voice modulators.
Mm-hmm.
And being a billionaire, even in that universe, I'm pretty sure if he wanted to keep his anonymity, he would have invested in one for his suit.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why that's why we like it here, because it makes sense. If you're rich and you want to keep your anonymity, why wouldn't you have a voice modulator difference dealer in your suit or a device that's attached to it? So, however he's doing it, why wouldn't you have a robo thing? Like, really?
Oh yeah, and I can even tell. Oh yeah, but that's more organic because of his powers that he actually does it through vibration of his vocal cords, which I like. But getting back to Ben Affleck as Batman, even without the modulator, unlike with Christian Bale's, like 5 days smoking voice, this would sound more tolerable if it was without the modulator itself. You know what I mean? Because it doesn't sound forced. It sounds like it's something that he's, taken to a home that he's, practiced on for years. You know what I mean? And if there's one thing I forgot to bring up too, that it was in the middle of the trailer. I think it was even before when the Batplane debuted. Is when we see Batman, excavating the ruins of the. I think it was the train station, right? The Metropolis train station.
And
then Man of Steel.
Oh yeah, in Man of Steel, yeah.
Yeah, where the climactic battle between Zod and Superman ended in that movie. Yeah, if there's one thing I liked, and they did briefly show it in The Dark Knights to an extent, but there's one thing I'm hoping that this incarnation does. People tend to forget. Am I crazy, or do people tend to forget that he's known by another nickname? The world's greatest detective. I feel like this is going to be an incarnation we're going to finally see more of, unlike we did with the last incarnation, which I'm hoping. And I gotta say, from the final shot, now this is spitballing, but this is spitballing because we really don't know, and we probably won't know until, say, summer this year when San Diego Comic-Con, rolls around, when we find out a little bit more about the plot and the whole reasoning between these two iconic characters, not only meeting, but possibly pumping the crap out of each other. Obviously, they're both being played by Lex. Here's the thing. I don't think that was a dream sequence in regards to the SWAT-like team that, that was bowing down to Superman.
I don't think I ever mentioned it being one.
No. I'm just bringing it up because like how trailers are usually, set up like they're usually consisting of scenes like from the third or final act of a film.
Oh, yeah.
Let me say second or the final act of film. I feel like that maybe in some point you remember the original. You remember the Batman cartoon that came out around the Chris Nolan era that was on the WB back in the day. It was that weird designed one. Like had that weird anime-ish like designed choice like of character art.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, you remember that episode where they were doing a similar thing with Batman and Superman fighting each other?
Uh-huh.
I feel like something is going to happen to Superman, try to push Lex's side that Lex has something to do with. Like basically, hey, maybe there isn't kryptonite, but there could be red kryptonite, something that makes Superman evil.
Oh. Maybe, probably not.
And maybe Bruce doesn't want to take him down. Maybe he has to because of the situation. You know what I mean? Or something, or hell, like we know, like in majority of the timelines that it's either one or both of the Kents are dead. Maybe something happens to his mother that he snaps because let's not forget, even with Zod just, threatening to, torture his own mother, you saw how crazy Kal-El went against Zod in the first big fight in Man of Steel, right?
Yeah.
Maybe something happens to his mother that he snaps, or hell, probably Lois Lane, you know what I mean? Like we did say, there's some influence tone-wise from Injustice that maybe they probably did kill Lois, you know what I mean? Like it's weird to spring up these things, but hey, this is new.
Considering how much it looks like it takes from Injustice already.
Exactly, you know what I mean? Like
it wouldn't be surprised if they took story threads.
It's spitballing, but it's just like from what I'm getting at, it's like it can't be like
We're all
I
just
know
speculating.
that.
You can give us your own speculations.
Oh yeah, you're more than welcome
below.
to. Please leave them in the comments. We would love to hear your responses and your ideas.
By the way, we're already at half an hour, so
yeah,
might want to.
Oh yeah, why wrap up
for our final
movie?
We should just talk about our final opinions and then wrap it up.
Oh yeah, basically I'm just saying that I just feel like there's something more to this than just them duking out and just calling it quits and
definitely
there goes the movie.
Definitely, there's definitely more.
But, like I feel like it's not only physical but more like mentally how they take their own way of being heroes. You know what I mean? Hell, maybe Bruce does, be somewhat more of a mentor, kind of like how Pa Kent was with him in Man of Steel. You know what I mean? But try to be more of a subtle approach. You know what I mean? At first, probably. Who knows? But we won't know until next. Well, I shouldn't say next year, but later this year during Comic-Con when we get more footage and more details of what the movie is basically about. But overall, for our first teaser, I'll say this. Does it trump the recent released second teaser for Episode 7? No and yes. This may be showing bias because I'm also a Star Wars fan too. But I'll say this: while it doesn't demolish that, I will definitely say that this teaser is a better teaser than the November 2014 first teaser we got for Star Wars Episode 7. That's just my thoughts on it. It's just
you mean the first teaser?
Yeah, the first teaser.
Yeah, I think so. All right, now my turn. Or?
Yeah. I was to say your turn because I went for 30 minutes.
All right. Well, I already talked about we broke down. I broke down the first half in opinions, and then you broke down the second half. Then you went to speculation, and okay, now's your fine. Okay, mine. All right. I don't know what it is. I'm feeling more of this movie than I am Ant-Man, I'll tell you that much.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
A lot of people I saw are bashing it, but from what I'm seeing, it looks like people are saying this and that. I don't see what the what it is they're complaining about in this teaser. Okay, Man of Steel. Okay, there were problems. Fine.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
I still liked it, but apparently, like okay, I'll admit, I'm not gonna be blind, but
Oh, there were problems. Yeah,
just
definitely.
from this, it looks like okay, they know. I believe they know what they're doing, even if it's I don't I see. I mean, when I look at Ben Affleck and I'm looking at the shot where he's just staring, that is so Bruce Wayne. That's not even funny.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, wow. I like I look at that angry stare, that full of like termination and all that.
Like it reminds me a lot of what of Michael Keaton's portrayal of the character in the '89 movie. It reminds me a lot of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I also like the I'm looking back for the bat plane. I finally see it. I'm like, it's so quick. I'm surprised you got to make more of the design than I did
Mm.
of the bat plane because I'm looking at it now in slow mo and I'm like, okay, there it is. I like its design. I mean, of course, when I was talking about the teaser all together, I really like how it's. To me, this trailer is mostly, even though it's showing Batman and Superman, it's mostly about Luthor.
Mm-hmm.
And I like the speculation. My speculation is it's Luthor who's playing these two up to fight each other.
Oh yeah.
That's just one. That's just a. It's just a theory. You know who says the rest.
Yep.
So I all in all, I liked it, and I want to see more. I want to know more about the story. I say wait until you see actual story threads in a trailer.
Yeah.
Well, still, even a trailer, I still don't like making complete judgments on a movie. But
Mm-hmm.
at least know where it's going completely. We just know all this trailer really let us know was the tone of the movie, not really what the story threads are. Did it? Did it let us know exactly why Superman and Batman are even facing off?
No, but it
Nope.
gave us an idea of what could happen.
It just gave ideas. Exactly. It just
Yeah,
gave us the
exactly.
tone, but it
Yeah,
didn't tell us any thread.
that's the thing. Yeah,
Why?
it's
Like
basically
if we
a
find out in the
teaser.
next trailer, okay, Superman stole Batman's PBJ sandwich. Okay, that's dumb. Fine, but we don't know that yet.
And to be fair, the way I think they're setting it up, which I'm hoping this is the case because this will be great marketing on their end. If this teaser was basically from Batman's perspective, while the first full trailer is from
It's from
Superman's
Superman's. Yeah,
perspective.
exactly. And it would be funny if we hear Luthor again. Man, he's just a normal human. Go punch him. If he's playing both sides, which
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think he is, but I'm not gonna put it past him either.
Exactly, yeah.
He's probably just in Batman's ear right now, but
Mm-hmm.
we never know. I liked the tone it was going for, which is all it really showed. It showed stuff happening, but no context for that stuff.
Mm.
So can y'all just lay off of that? At least attack the crap out of how it looks. Fine, which
Mm.
but saying it's gonna suck, the story's gonna suck without knowing any of the context for what's being shown. It's kind of, oh, that's jumping the gun, man. To me, anyway.
Agreed. Actually, I got a good question before you wrap up. What did you think about the specific trailer music that was done by both Hans Zimmer and Junkie XL for this
That was Junkie
piece?
XL.
Yeah.
I know you told me that. I didn't know they already were using him in the trailer already.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, let me. Ba-ba-ba. It's trailer music.
Mm.
Like
Like,
I don't know
I
how
don't
else to
know,
put it. It's trailer music.
like the what? Because the reason why I'm bringing it up is like because I don't know which piece is like a little snippet of the Batman theme because Junkie XL is doing the new theme for Batman for this universe. But from what I've heard, I do like the tone what they're going for this movie's soundtrack. You know what I mean?
It's a very brooding tone.
Yeah, which does fit the character. You know what I mean?
Definitely. All right then. We just said we thought. We like how it looks so far. We don't know the story. We speculate a little, but again, I don't think we can make judgments on the story part until we know
Yes.
at least
Yeah.
what is the context for this action.
Agreed.
Okay, now that we're almost an hour, I wasn't trying to do that, Jeff. I
Uh,
thought this would be just 20 minutes.
I know. I know.
We
I know.
anyways, Jeff, anything you want to plug?
Uh, Nothing on my end. How about you, my friend?
Well, check out the Broken Infinite. That's thebrokeninfinite.com, where we have comic book reviews and previews and all that good stuff. If you're a comics fan, we also do other geeky things, wrestling and tokusatsu, and anime and video games. Actually, the thing that me and Jeff are a part of, the TheGameRiffers, our videos are posted there. And also check out fightercaos.deviantart.com. I'll put a link in the description because it's kind of hard. FIGHTERXAOS.deviantart.com. That's DeviantArt or tumblr.com/blah blah blah. It's
Mm-hmm.
Ikari Radio on Tumblr. That's also my Twitter. Jeff, what's your Twitter? That's what you got to plug.
My Twitter is at 16bitjeff.
All right. That it?
Yep.
All right, then we'll see you. Maybe. We'll definitely see you on the TheGameRiffers. Go subscribe there. YouTube.com/TheGameRiffers. Like those famous people that riff movies, except we riff games.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll see lots more content there. This channel here, you'll see content just whenever I feel like it. Like this, like how you mentioned this trailer, these reactions would be. Alright then, for 16-bit Jeff, I am Fighter Caos. All I got left to say is, see you later. Nimyo Kanryo.